say I still definitely have a ways to go, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open with the audience. I made a lot of mistakes. Now, I got really lucky and I landed with the husband and the baby, and I had a baby late, but I'm trying to like warn women it doesn't always go that way. And there's a lot that can go wrong in the paradigm if you're following like bury your head in the work and you want a family, but you don't prioritize that till you're 30. What do you think is, first of all, the women that come to your show, do you think they believe what they're saying?
I think sometimes as women, we don't even like realize what we're saying isn't true.
Like, you think they have that like moment where they're like, did I just, and then they like have an awareness?
It's happened to me before.
Yeah.
Where, okay, I'll say like, okay, the cheating thing. You know damn well that, and like, I just use NBA players because they're so, like, it's just easy to use them as an example. You know damn well that a man in Tiger Woods' position, let's use Tiger Woods, even my father, who is a great guy, he would have a hard time if there was a bus full of models waiting for him every day. Some guys are nerds, they kind of avoid those situations. But even, you know, and I would say any guy is gonna have a hard time if these girls are sitting at home trying to, you know, his wife mouths off after work. He's like, you know what, just this one day. And you know, even me like saying that, and like an intuitive level, I kind of knew that. But I was like, what? No, my dad doesn't cheat. Got triggered.
So, and what is that, do you think? Because I think that
Emotions.
That happens. It is emotion, but there is so much programming that goes on. Like even, you know, me, I sat here and, you know, my whole career, I'm like defending masculinity and defending men and do believe in the traditional family. I didn't have a promiscuous past. I never went that route. So I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, feminism didn't get me. But then I watch an Andrew Tate video about self-defense and I'm like, you know, so it gets you even if you don't realize it. So I'm wondering like how many women have this like programming and they don't really realize it. And it takes like a lot of self-reflection really to sit back and say, wow, did this really make me happy? Is that good advice? Like, why am I so mad?
No, and that was what I had to realize with my volleyball career. I was like, oh my gosh, that probably was a poor choice. and it's hard because I love volley. Like I could, if I could do anything in life, even before the pod, I'd be a volleyball player. If there was money in women's sports.
Why do you say it was a bad choice then?
Because it was like, that was all I did. That was all I cared about. And I would say, you know, on the plus side, it avoided like a lot of bad situations. Like I avoided because I was just like volleyball. But you know, was it really smart to like prioritize that when there's no future in it? You know,
is it hard for you with the values that you have right now to be in the dating world? Like, do you think that women who espouse how you feel about life, do you think they have a hard time? Given, you know, how many women are willing to sleep around and do this and do that, is it hard? Does it feel challenging for you?
I mean, yeah. I think if it wasn't challenging, I'd be married, right?
Yeah.
I'd have the outcome. So.
I don't know how picky you are. One never does know. You know, you might have that long list like some of the girls here, the certain amount.
I mean, I think
how tall they gotta be.
Look, I was thinking about this. I was like, being tall, it like makes it a lot harder for sure.
Dude, okay, I have to a moment with the audience too. Pearl walked in. Now everyone knows I'm like a small person. Like I look like, you know, the Wizard of Oz, the Munchkins. That's me. But I walked in. I was like, whoa! You got like supermodel height.
Yeah, no,
like, for real.
I would say if there's one thing that's held me back in dating, it is the height.
I would think so.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Now is that because you want a guy taller?
It's me. It's my fault. Yeah. No, I'd actually say I'd go down to like 5'10". I'd say like an inch or two shorter.
You can't. Then you wear the heels though. You're taller.
No, that's fine. I don't mind if I'm wearing heels, but I'm just like being honest, you know. And maybe that's too picky. I don't know, but I would say that's probably like if I had to pick one thing, the height, that makes it a lot harder.
So what I find when I cover these panels, yours sometimes we showcase here, is that women are they don't realize how picky they are. You know, they'll say like, oh, I'm not picky, I'm just looking for a nice guy. No. And then it's like the list is a mile long. It's like Santa scroll, it unfolds, you got to make a certain amount of money, you got to be this height, you have this car and this house and this job. And so it's just like, was that always the case? Well, what's gone on that women are so picky? Or is it just like a lack of self-awareness?
I mean, I think it's like natural to us. Like if you take our mating strategy down to the roots, it's to get the best possible mate. I don't mind women being picky. I just think it's like, do you deserve it?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. What are you bringing to the table?
You're 250 pounds, Rebecca. You're 250 pounds. What do you mean you meet a guy that makes 6 figures?
Right.
You're 250. And then they get to the 300 ones. They're even more picky.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. I saw you had an exchange with somebody that wanted, I don't remember what the ring was. The cost was astronomical.
Oh my God. That was a red pill moment for me. That was early. That was before the channel took off.
I did it. I covered it. I couldn't believe it. I found it. I said, she was talking like she deserved. And I'm always like, you know, what do you bring to the table as a female? I say, like, to women, you can't just demand all this stuff and then say, well, you know, I give this, you know, what does that mean? You know, what do you bring into a guy? And then if you ask them, you know, hey, do you want to keep a nice home? They get insulted. Or, hey, do you know, maybe you're a little overweight. Do you care about, you can't say that. You can't ask them to step up in any way, it seems. Why?
Oh gosh. Well, I just think like from a young age, we've been told that we're princesses and queens and we deserve to be treated like that.
That's true.
You're an average chick. Why do you deserve to be treated like that? Yeah. You slept with the whole football team. Why on earth would he treat you like a queen? And so it's like, yeah, I just think from a young age, well-meaning fathers oftentimes like diluted our standards. I even see it in the church. Oh my gosh, are you religious?
I'm Catholic. I went to Catholic school.
Oh my gosh, me too. Okay. I need to know if we had the same Catholic school experience.
Okay, let's go.
Because I've always been Pearl. You know, I've been maybe more a blue-pilled Pearl.
Right.
But I've always had opinions. And I remember thinking, okay, in the Catholic, did you have chastity speakers?
No.
Oh, you didn't have that?
Chastity speakers.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This is just a Pearl experience. So they bring in, you know how there's like sex ed in public schools?
Yeah.
We didn't have sex ed. We had chastity speakers. That's why when everyone's like, we need sex ed. And I'm like, okay, I didn't do shit in high school. So I don't know what, like, I didn't need sex ed to know. So
You're like, you need chastity speakers.
Yeah. But I remember there was like a guy and a girl that came in. It's like Christiniana or something and Jason Everett. Chat can find it. And they came in. It's like the girl that's been ran through, okay, and her husband that was the virgin till he was married. When you're red pill, you're like, oh my God. And it's like, you know.
You can't even absorb that. It's like,
yeah, and so she would talk about she was so broke. Like, it was the same message, right? And I appreciate that same message. But the message in the church is like, at the end of the day, there'll be a prince waiting for you no matter what you do. No matter what you do. And that's why I was like, when the guys are like, the girls are worse in the church. I'm like, well, this is why.
Yeah.
Because they say at the end of your whatever, there'll still be a guy waiting for you. That might not be the case, Rebecca.
No. I'm curious though, because you brought up Catholic school. Like what? Because we're, you know, quite a bit apart in terms of age, but what was it like for you to be in school? Like in terms of, were there a lot of girls who were promiscuous? Because when I went to school, there were girls who did that, but you could like identify, it was like this one over here, this one over here. They had a reputation and a bad one, and all the guys like knew who they were.
Could we define promiscuous? Because that's
sleeps around.
Okay, like, so then we go into like, what is sleeps around? As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized on a daily basis on this platform. If you want to help, please consider sending a super thanks below. Every donation helps, and it helps make what we do possible.